Howdy y'all, how's everybody doing? I know with this pandemic going on and a lot of people ordering takeout or cooking at home nowadays, which is awesome. I love seeing people cook and learning how to cook. But I thought about helping spicing your pizza night up with a homemade pizza that a lot of people are intimidated about making like homemade pizza dough, which I would say is easy once you get used to it. You just got to get used to making dough. So here we go. I'm going to help you guys make an awesome pizza night and better than any pizza that you can get from any restaurant you can get. So let's get it going. So everyone, we're going to get the yeast going first. You want some warm water between 100 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. You want it hot, but not too hot. Just gonna make the yeast wake up. And then after you get water in that, you're gonna go ahead, throw 2 tablespoons of sugar. I did a 1 1/4 tablespoon of yeast. And then you're going to add a little pinch of salt, and you're going to go in there and mix that up. I do it this way to make sure my yeast is still alive, because you don't want to go through the whole thing when you find out your yeast is dead and your dough won't rise. You got it mixed up. You don't want to mix it too much, but once it's mixed up, set it aside for 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to go ahead and get our dry ingredients for our dough. For the dry ingredients, we did 2 cups of flour. I did a 1/2 cup or so of garlic powder. Now this is going to give your dough a little bit of flavor. You don't want to have a bland dough. Then I went ahead and threw about a tablespoon of salt. Then I went ahead and threw a teaspoon of thyme, oregano, and rosemary in there. Just going to give your dough a real nice flavor, so you get a nice delicious dough. Then we're going to give this a real quick mix to get everything incorporated into the dry ingredients. Now we're going to make a little well. We're going to go ahead and throw our water with the yeast. This is a type of what we're looking for right here. You want a little bit of foamy top on the top of the yeast. This lets you know that the yeast is active and is ready. And then we're going to go ahead and mix this with a spoon until a dough starts to form, and then after that we're going to go ahead and get our hands a little bit dirty, and then we're going to start forming it into a ball for the dough. When it starts to form a little bit better of a ball, we're going to go and throw it onto our board, and we're going to start kneading it. We're going to dust the board with a little bit of flour. Here I'm using bread flour because I use bread flour for the actual dough itself. If you don't have bread flour, it's fine. You can just use AP flour. It works just as good. It makes a little bit of crunchier crust if you use bread flour. So once we got that nice and dusted, we're going to go and throw our dough in there, and we're going to start kneading that bad boy out. This is going to help stretch some of the gluten out, and it's going to help make our actual dough. This might take some time to do, it might take 5 minutes, it might take 10 minutes, it might take 15 minutes, depends how much gluten is in there. I threw a little bit of olive oil in there, just going to give it a little bit better taste. Normally you want to put this in when you do the wet ingredients, but I forgot, but it doesn't hurt to put it in now because you're going to be in the process of mixing the dough anyway. So when you go ahead and mix this, when it stops being sticky and it looks a little bit more shiny, it will be done. Once it starts to look like this, we're going to start and roll this into a little ball, get it nice and formed up, and then we're going to take a bigger bowl, and then we're going to put a little bit of oil in there, and then it's going to keep the dough from sticking in the bowl, and then we're going to put a little bit over the top. This is going to keep it from drying out. I used my oven to do the proofing because it's getting a little bit colder out, so usually you want to keep this between 70 to 80 degrees for the best growth for the yeast itself. So I put and turned my oven on at 200 for about a minute or two, and it gave me that perfect temperature I wanted to keep in the oven, and then it'd be best for proofing. While we wait on the dough to proof, we can go ahead and start prepping all of our toppings and also the stuff for our homemade marinara sauce. So for the toppings, the onions we're going to do is pretty much just thinly slice them because they're going to go over the top, and we don't want them to be too big where they don't cook, and because nobody really likes to eat a raw onion. For this green boy, this is a banana pepper actually, if you didn't know what it looked like before. We're just gonna thinly slice this too. I'm not gonna really worry about seeding it because it's not that spicy, and most of the time the seeds are gonna come out anyway as we're slicing it. So you want here about a 1/4 inch or so. Like I said, you don't want it too big where you're eating a raw veggie. Here, I think I used a whole clove of garlic, or bulb, I guess is what it's called. But here, you're just gonna thinly slice it. Most of this is gonna be used for the pizza sauce that we're gonna make. Do the whole you know, Goodfellas sauce with the thinly sliced garlic, you know, doing Vinny proud. These are just some sausage links that are already cooked, so we're gonna cut these into about a 1/4 inch or so, and that's pretty much it. You don't want them doing too thick, you know. All this piece is supposed to be bite sized, so you don't want too big of pieces. Then for the chicken, we're gonna go and we're gonna thinly slice it, and we're gonna dice this up into smaller pieces because it's already cooked, so we're not really worried about it. We're gonna make sure it's warmed through. For this sausage, we're gonna do this slice as best as you can. We're gonna throw this into the oven before, you know, get a little cook on it. And then once it's get a little bit of cook on it, we're gonna take it and slice into smaller pieces, and it's gonna cook the rest of the way through when we put the pizza in the oven. Once all the prep is done, we're gonna go and start our marinara sauce here. I used about 1.5 cups of stock. No, this is my veggie stock that I made a little bit ago, you know, still going strong and it's still just as good. And then we're gonna heat this up, get it a little bit starting to boil, and then we're gonna throw some tomato paste in there. I used about 1/4 cup of tomato paste, and then once that gets warmed up, we're gonna go and give that a good whisk. Once it starts going, we're gonna start seasoning this up. We're gonna hit a little bit of salt. I used about a teaspoon of salt. You just did it to taste. And then you're gonna go and throw your garlic in there and let that cook down in there. Then you're gonna go and bring this to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, you're gonna turn it down to a simmer and let that cook down until it's about half, and you get a nice thick sauce. You know, we all love a little bit of thickness. You know, I do, and my girls, you know. should start to look just like this. You know, this is what we want, you know, a nice little bit of thickness to it, but still tomatoey. By now our dough should be done and ready to go. So you can see that it got about 2 times bigger. Now we're gonna go and punch. This is my favorite part. Go ahead and punch all the air out of it, and we're gonna get this ball rolling on the shape of the dough. Here, I'm using a square pan, so I wanted to make it square. If you have a circle pizza pan, hey, go ahead and make it circle. Having a little bit of trouble getting the dough to the shape I want, so it took a little bit longer. You know, I'm not the professional pizza maker over here, you know, but it just takes some time. You want a nice even layer. You don't want it too thin on one side because it's gonna overcook on one side. Once you got the shape you want, you're gonna go and pretty much take the ends of it and, you know, twist it up on itself. This is gonna make a nice little crust. Also, this is gonna help keep the sauce from, you know, overflowing or leaking out. You know, this is what I do. You don't have to, but this is what I just do. Once everything is rolled up, we're going to take a fork and we're going to punch holes in it. This is going to keep the dough from bubbling up as you cook it. You know, the steam is going to release and it's going to make sure you get a nice crunchy crust at the bottom. Before we put this bad boy in the oven, here I got some garlic oil. It's pretty much just olive oil, and I infuse a little bit of garlic, you know, gives that little garlic taste. And you're gonna brush the crust with it, the crust and the dough. You wanna get a nice little layer on there. You're just gonna help the dough get crispy on the outside and cooked on the inside and stop it from burning. Once the brushy brush is done, we're gonna put this bad boy in the oven at 400 degrees for, I would say, 10 to 15 minutes, or you get that nice golden brown skin on the top. If it starts to cook a little bit faster, turn the oven down. But after that, it should be golden. This should what it look like, because we're going to put it back in the oven, so you don't want it too dark on the crust itself, because it's going to dark a little bit more. So we're going to go and let this cool for a little bit, and we're going to throw our pizza sauce over the top, get a nice spread and even coat. Then we're gonna go ahead and start layering our toppings. This is why I love pizza. You can pretty much put anything you want on there here. You know, I decided to do a little extra meat on there, you know, meat lovers, you know, but you know, feel free to do all veggies if you want a little vegginess, you're trying to be healthy, you know. If you want a little bit of vegan, you know, there's a vegan way to make the dough. So, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed this pizza night video. You know, I really love pizza, but I hate ordering it online when I can just make it myself for a lot cheaper. So hopefully this will help you guys out with all that. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and smash that like button. It lets me know that you enjoy my content. Also, while you're here, go ahead and subscribe for more how-to videos and, you know, all this pandemic cooking and stuff like that going on. So hopefully you guys are having an awesome holidays, and I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Peace.